is Andrea Nirmala Wijayanto, and I'm the writer-director of Sao Matang.
My name is Julia Elihu, and I am the director on In the Garden of Tulips.
My name is Anatola Araba, and I was the writer, director, and producer of Afro Algorithms.
My name is Olivia de Camps, and my movie is Sirena, and I'm the director-writer of Sirena.
My project is a 3D animated short film called Afro Algorithms. It takes place in a distant future where the first artificial intelligence leader of Earth is being inaugurated, and then she realizes that she's missing important information from her databank and goes on an enchanting journey to find the missing information so that she can lead the world into a brighter future.
Sirena is a short film that takes place in a small coastal village in the Dominican Republic, and our protagonist, which is called Sirena, is preparing to meet her American boyfriend for the first time today. And that same day, some rumors spread about her and a Haitian man, which kind of takes her on a crazy journey.
Sao Matang is a sci-fi romance coming-of-age film that's based on my own personal experiences in high school, and it's set in a dystopian Jakarta where native Indonesians are interchangeable with black pigs, and it follows Nala, a young native Indonesian girl who gets sent to a human zoo for flirting with a Chinese Indonesian boy.
The story for In the Garden of Tulips is actually based on my friend Ava's mom's story. It takes place during the backdrop of the Iran-Iraq War, which is 1988 Iran, and it is our main character, Caroline's final car ride with her dad before she is smuggled across the border to Pakistan. So it's really just kind of a slow slice of life film, that last car ride with her dad as she just kind of takes in the Iranian landscape and says goodbye. Our mentor was also really awesome. She really helped us refine the pitch and just always focus back on story, and just gave us great notes as to what should be at the forefront of the pitch and what people want to see and what people want to hear. So.
Yeah, I was very, very happy to be paired with Amanda because in the beginning I was actually not quite sure of the direction of what this pitch script or what I actually wanted to say in the pitch. How much should devote to story and how much should I say about myself or my background or anything else. But I think the best advice that she gave me was actually just to sell it with confidence, and I think that wasn't really something that was in my mind, and I don't know why, but it seems so clear, but it just wasn't there. That really, when you're pitching, it's really all about your performance, and because you know the story at the back of your head, and no one knows it better than you do, so you should just own your story.
For me, it was my first time pitching in general. I went to film school, but the pitching there was very short and sort of the professors would just give you notes, so it wasn't really an actual pitch. So it was my first time pitching, and I was super nervous. And I think my pitch mentor helped me a lot with trying to focus it. But it still was really difficult for me to sort of pitch it. I was just talking about sort of the environment of the film and the visuals more than the plot of the film, because the film is so much about creating a world and showing a world and portraying it. But yeah, it was my first time pitching, and it was definitely really, really helpful, and it sort of gave me the push to do it more.
This was a really unique pitch experience. I had pitched as a presentation or a slideshow, and I had made a video pitch that I could control and redo and do takes and mess up and make look nice. So this was my first time ever pitching just visually and not having to have a deck there and just talking about it, which was so different and very just new to me. I had practiced before, but then on the day of, my heart was just beating so fast and I was nervous but also excited, and I tried to just tell myself to act like you're telling a story and to almost perform or just pretend you're playing the role of someone confident pitching your project, and that helped me just do it through the nerves and everything.
I love that. That's so good. I had been lucky enough to pitch in the past with different like teams and groups of people. But this was my first pitch that was like so concise. Like I feel like the time limit on it was kind of tough for me. So that was like the challenge of like, okay, how do we say everything we need to say in such a short period of time? And the thing that Ava and I learned was like, okay, lead with the story. The story is the most important. Everything else can come next. So that was a really cool learning curve in this specific pitch. And then this was my first time pitching over Zoom too, which like had its own like difficulties. I have really bad Wi-Fi in my apartment. So like me and her were sitting there on the Zoom and like it would cut out and we're like, oh my God, like what if it cuts out in the middle of our pitch and like they don't get to hear this part of the story and blah, blah, blah. But thankfully that didn't happen and it all worked out.
Good.
Yeah, I think similar to Anatola, like I haven't really pitched live through Zoom. I've pitched live in person and I've done video pitches before, which I actually hate more because I just do more like 17 takes and then never get it done, and then at the end I'm like, what am I even saying? Like I actually prefer just get it done like in person, present it. But it's the first time that I wasn't allowed any visuals. Like I was double checking with my mentor. I was like, really, I can't plug one thing in there? And they're like, no. I was like, I think that was the hardest part because I'm a visual person. I can't really, like audio is not really my strong suit, so I prefer the help of pictures. So when it's not there, it's really, yeah, I try to make it like more like as a conversation to help me settle my nerves, and I think that worked out well. From my experience, short film funding is very limited. I don't know if that's the general like experience out there, but a lot of like my filmmaker friends and I have this joke of like, that's why you should just go to features because there's no funding for shorts. And the most experience I have with funding shorts is that usually are through film festivals. Like Srikandi was made through a competition, but what I find restrictive about the film festivals that do give funding is that usually they require world premieres, and while I understand that at a certain point because they're investing, but at another point it's also very limiting for the filmmakers because they can't reach the heights that they wanted to reach. But yeah, other than that, I also don't find crowdfunding very helpful, at least for me. Maybe it's just the immigrant experience, but I'm never fit for one region. Like for example, I'm not Canadian enough for Canadian grants, but I'm not Indonesian enough for Southeast Asian grants because they would focus on the filmmakers that are based there, while Canadians are focused for Canadians and permanent residents only and doesn't qualify for anyone who's just a temporary resident.
It was definitely a journey getting funding for the short film because at the very beginning of my idea for this, the budget was like, you know, it was like some budget, but it was like really small. At the first grant I won, put into my mind, wow, I can, you know, like pay people to help to bring this to life. I was very thankful to be shown the option of grants as another route to film financing because in film school, like Olivia said, we didn't discuss grants. I don't think we learned about all the opportunities of grants or grant writing or pitching.
When you're in school, it's a lot easier to raise money because you're working with like a team of other students and like they're putting money into it, like your whole team's kind of like putting money into it. Also, you have a team of people working for free, which, you know, isn't gonna happen post-grad. So I think it's just like post-grad, like inflating your budget to obviously pay your crew and like, you know, wanting to elevate your style as well as a filmmaker and put more money into it. That's kind of the challenge for Ava and I. We used the NFFTY grant money to make a teaser for the film, which we shot a little while ago, and I'm editing actually this weekend. So we're gonna launch a crowdfunding campaign, and then we're just gonna try to reach out to more and more grants and raise money and find investors who care about the story, and so hopefully we'll be shooting it this summer.
Yeah, so this is like the first film that I make that I'm trying to get funding for. The past ones I've like funded through like the money I've made, like working as a freelance, whatever. Because I always feel so weird asking people for money. Like it doesn't feel right for me. And so yeah, I've been applying to some grants, and then I was thinking like, I don't want to do an Indiegogo and just ask people to donate to my film. So I was thinking, what are other cool ways that I can raise money for this specific film? I had this idea of doing this sort of like rave, party rave in New York. So we did that like 3 weeks ago, and it was with tickets. So the tickets would go to the film. Everyone knew that that was like the case, and we ended up funding the whole film through that event, which was great. Yeah.
Film starts here!
That harmonized.